Hey y'all. Yeah, I'm home. Dispatch rushed me out a little early. I'm trying to finish up some of this. Went into the back room, got the kids box. I have a box solely for her stuff. All of her projects that she ever made me, all the baby pictures, newborn pictures, um, mostly her. There's a couple of I'm looking for one envelope, and it might be in my shit. Um, I've got one that's got like all of my military awards and you know that kind of stuff, and then there's an envelope, and that might actually be in the trunk in my bedroom, which I have to unload, and that could take a minute. But that has her newborn pictures that we got done at the hospital, and the first couple of years of photos that I had gone to a professional studio to get done. It's big 10, the 11 by 14 kind of ones. Yeah, I got those. Anyway, yeah, I was talking to her, and she's like, yeah, she says she has them. She was going to put them on a stick, the videos. There's 12 fucking tapes of 2 hours each. It's going to take more than a fucking stick. It's going to take a terabyte of hard drive to save that shit. Honest to fucking God. I mean, so, pacifying diversion, she doesn't have the tapes. She doesn't have them. Let's make it clear. Because all of those tapes, we're talking kind of like a Velveeta length of box. It was about, I'd say, about that. I'd say about more than a foot long. That fit those tapes perfect. I don't know what the hell it was that I bought that I was like, oh, isn't that magical? I was buying probably 2 tapes a week when I was in the service. So that was a year worth, right? I didn't use them all up. I just had them on stock because I stock up on shit. I can stock up on fucking toilet paper. I've got like 4 packs of fucking giant, like 12 packs of fucking toilet paper stacked up in a closet. All right, I'm a prepper type of stock up on shit type of girl, right? So every time I'd get paid, or when I went to Walmart to go get groceries and whatnot, I pick up 1 or 2 of those tapes, throw them in the thing, and just keep them on hand, right? I think there had been 16 of them in that box. It's a narrow box, 8mm. It was about that wide. Well, maybe a little narrower. 8mm cassettes. They're about that thick. Yeah, there's about 16 of them. I have 1 or 2 of them with the video camera, the old school video camera out in the garage. There was when I gave her those tapes to be able to sit down with my daughter and say, this was your mom, here's some memories, like on her birthday, whatever. Here's your first birthday, here's your second birthday, here's, videos of your mom playing with you on the floor when you were a newborn, shit like that. No. Here's you playing with Poppy, here's you running around the yard. One of your mom's friends, they bought her this little pushy car thing, these 2 friends of mine, and they ran around the yard for like, I was exhausted. I'm like, you're exhausting me just watching you. They played with my kid for fucking hours in that thing. My daughter was a very loved child. And everybody that ever met her loved her. it just, it breaks my heart that my sister could be so cruel, condescending, and fucking jealous of the fact that, she didn't give birth to her. I did. And I did what I needed to do in order to try to improve myself, because no child should have to grow up in a fucking environment where their mother is stressed out of their fucking mind. And that is what I was dealing with. And it was affecting my child, even when she was only 3 years old. Me not being home. Me having to work, having to go to school, having to study, having to leave the house because I couldn't concentrate on my schoolwork. I had to be in an environment where I could fucking study. I had a 4.0 up until the point where my father passed away. I would literally take my books to a karaoke bar and just sit there at the bar with the music in the background and study, because I didn't have to listen to the conversations and the interactions of my parents and my daughter and all of that fucking noise. But I could sit in a bar with my books out on the fucking bar or at a table and listen to people sing, and that thing, it was a completely different dynamic. I gotta honestly say, I love, my mom is my mom, but I can't say that at that time in my life that I really fucking liked her. She used to talk really nasty to my dad, and I did not like it. And my daughter was very fussy. She had that terrible 2 time frame. I couldn't get her to go to sleep. I was exhausted. My father would blast the TV. Couldn't fucking sleep because I could hear the TV. That kind of thing. Now I have to like literally play YouTube. I play the Y-Files, like those compilations, and they lull me to fucking sleep. I have to have noise. But back then, I needed fucking quiet. And all of this time, as I've, evolved through this, I've gone from times where I needed fucking dead silence. When I was in college, I would literally put on a Braves game and I would study to baseball games. ADD. This is how our fucking brains work. It's heartbreaking that my daughter still is buying into this. I have been trying to fucking wake her up. It's kind of like the libtards and the fucking TDS people. They believe everything that the social media and the mainstream media tells them without questioning or even being able to see the reality of the entire situation. They sit there and they call Trump a racist. Have you ever heard the N-word come out of that man's mouth? He employs all sorts of races. He doesn't have a particular race that he does not like. He has nothing against Mexicans or the Latinos or whatever. It's the principle that the majority of them that are in the country right now, in the last few years, they're trying to find the illegal ones. He grew up in the building industry. I work in the building industry. Here, this is where people cannot disassociate what is told to them on the television to what they know in real life. I work in the building industry. I would say 90% of the people that finish our concrete are Latino. Bar none. And they're the best. And they're my favorites. I just had to do a job earlier, right before I left work today. No white people. One crotchety old fucking misogynistic black man and 2 Mexican dudes. Those 2 Mexican dudes I fucking know from other jobs, not associated with the dude that was in charge. And it's one of those lowest bidder things. Yeah, I know how to do concrete. I ain't done it in 20 years, but I'll find you a couple guys. We'll do your shit. And they give it the lowest bidder, and it's done pretty cheap. And he's hiring these two that know how to do this shit to help him out. Because there ain't nobody that finishes concrete better than a fucking Mexican. I'll tell you that right fucking now. Kudos to them. What we're trying to get out of the country, and what they don't understand, and what people are just totally fucking ignorant to, is the mere fact that the people that are here illegally, most of them that have come in, they're not vetting them to see, okay, oh, you're here to work, or you're here to rape people. We're trying to get rid of the criminals first. And then we're going after the people that are just here illegally that have never gone through the process. And then you've got people that really get the fucking runaround. Our bureaucratic fucking system for immigration sucks dick. There's a lot of good damn Mexicans out there. There's a lot of good damn Mexicans out there that are in this country illegally, and they need to get some fucking help to keep them here because they're doing all the labor. And they're damn, concrete is not a fun fucking industry to be in. I love my job, driving a mixer. I've finished concrete. It sucks. It sucks. It is hard. It is very hard. It's labor-intensive, back-breaking fucking work. People are complaining, oh, the workforce is bad because the ICE is coming in and taking care. No, they're not. Our production builders is the same fucking guys. Shit, there's a few new ones on there. It's not that they're deporting them. Production in this area has come to a fucking standstill because the state has put a cement restriction. And a lot of these builders are starting to realize that they cannot be building these fucking houses at this price. People cannot afford to buy them. That's where the crunch has come. It's not an implosion. It's a fucking collapse. Period. And no one wants to buy a house for $450,000 fucking dollars at a 6% interest rate over 30 years. Nobody. The average price in this area, not my neighborhood, but other ones, closer to, I call it the hoity-toity land of the town. Yeah. They're ranging anywhere from $450,000 to like $4.2 million. Depends on what you buy, what you build. The same deranged concept my daughter has for my sister. She has this beloved faith that she's telling her the truth. I have seen it firsthand. She is a lying bitch. There are things that I entrusted her with. I entrusted her with those tapes. That is my fault. Because I thought she had my best interest at heart when she was taking care of my child. Where in fact, she did everything she could to keep me having a fucking relationship with her. She had my daughter scared to death of me at one point. Fed her lie after lie after lie. Yeah. Now my daughter is realizing you ain't like that. No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you like it is. But you're not going to hear me yell about it. I don't need to yell. I can. I can put the fear of God in you if I need to. But I don't have to. And even when I'm not yelling, and if I say it in a manner, yeah, it's kind of frightening. Like earlier. Oh no, that wasn't yelling. Trust me. You don't want to hear what it sounds like. Soldiers have heard it when I was NCO. Not often. Didn't need to till they started. It was in a group atmosphere and my voice needed to carry. You know how loud it can be? This happened today. I'm sitting there watching dude. He pulls up to the garage in his mixer and his bowl is in discharge, right? And it's normal for us to put it in discharge after it rains to get all the extra water out, right? He forgot to put it back into charge. He goes over to the garage. He goes and grabs fiber for a job. And it's this special stuff that we need for this particular builder. He goes up to it, and I'm looking at him, and he tries to, like, they all try to do this. They all suck. And this is why they're not playing NBA, right? He tries to throw this thing and it gets caught up on the top rack of the hopper. And I'm looking and I see the bowl going the wrong way. And I'm like, is he going to notice it? And he climbs up the ladder and I beep. And then I roll down the window and I yell from across the yard. I'm talking about 400 or 500 feet. Your bowl's going the wrong way. Your shit's going to come out your chutes. And he stopped. And he looked back at me. I said, do you see it? He was like, oh! And he went down the stairs, got in the truck, turned the truck the other way, and then, yeah. Over a running engine. My engine was running. His engine was running. 3 other trucks in the yard were running. My voice carried that far. And he heard it. What I ranted about this morning? Oh no, that was just putting it fucking mildly. Yeah, I'm pissed. But that ain't yelling. Can you imagine what yelling sounds like? So, working on this quilt. My daughter's still not convinced that my sister is a lying, conniving cunt, but that's okay. She'll learn. When we discover, and I told her, I said, yeah, she's going to stall, and then she's going to say, oh, I can't find them. Yeah, because they don't fucking exist. They're in a landfill somewhere. I know it. Because she's a heartless bitch. Anyway, yeah, anything that had to do with me, she's going to erase it because God forbid she get proven wrong that I wasn't the fucking monster that she had made me out to be for so long. So I have this here. This is the eyelet lace. This is just so simple and pretty. I love it. I have to measure this out into sections, and I'm going to have to miter the corners to fit around. And that is the only... it's going to use it up, so that way I don't have a whole bunch of extra. And if I do have a little bit of extra, I might figure out a way to put it on the canopy. But if I do that, I'm going to do it by hand. And I don't have time for that. I've got to get this done because it's got to get mailed out on Saturday when I get home. So after I get off where all this shit is getting loaded in the truck on Friday night before I leave for work, and then it is going to the UPS store and I am mailing it. It's going to be 50, 60 pounds. I've got 2 bags of stuff out there, and I have stuff out in the garage of my daughter's that I want to send her. Little rompers that I made for her. That is her little keepsake bag. My mom's got stuff in her attic. More shit. And I'll send that later. I'll go up there and I'll go through all that and we'll get that done. But it's just, I cannot believe that she would have the audacity to not be able to admit No, I fucked up. I fucked up. And I don't know what happened to them. Because it had the adapt, like, it had a VHS, and it's got that little thing where you slip the tape in it. It's a little adapter thing, so you can play it in a VHS. It'll play just the same. Yeah, it was that box of tapes, plus the adapter was at my sister's, so she could show my daughter, her childhood up to 3 years old. And apparently she never did. Because that would prove that I wasn't a fucking monster like she had always put out that I was. Oh yeah, she had my daughter's father's family convinced that I was, psychotic. Yeah. Talking to my daughter's aunt on his side, his sister. She thought I was a fucking monster until I was like, what in the hell were you told? She was like, what? I said, yeah, you've met me. Remember? You came down and visited. Remember the little t-shirt that I made with the Batman for your nephew? Yeah, I'm not what she says. I ran into issues and nobody wants to tell the whole fucking story. No one wants to admit that the reason why I was losing my fucking marbles is because my mom was abusing me while I was living there. Psychologically abusing me. That's why I was like, I can't. Something's got to give. But the first week that I was there, I sat there thinking, damn, I need to just fucking not even unload this fucking U-Haul. Just drive the bitch right back to Alabama and just be like, I fucked up. This is not going to work. I need to come back home. That's what I should have done. So yeah, I can blame myself for not having made a sound decision and thinking that I could make it work out in that state. That was the biggest fucking mistake I ever made. I should have taken my ass right back. Went right back to the military and be like, here's your 10 grand. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to stay right the fuck here. I went all the way out there. I came all the way back, like, within a week. I'm not even going to unload the fucking U-Haul. It's not even, yeah, I should have. I should have eaten it. Because I had friends, and I had a support system, and I had an awesome fucking daycare. And if I had done that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. This wouldn't even be on video right now. My life would, and my daughter's life would have been completely fucking different. So, there's a lot of things that I blame myself for. One, in trusting my sister, that she would actually culturally, show my daughter that, yeah, your mom was a good lady. She had all this stuff going on. There's only one person that is in my sister's life that saw my mother for her true colors. And her and I looked at each other and I said, now who's the fucking bad guy? And she just looked at me and I was like, someone needs to get their fucking story straight. And that was the end of that conversation. And nothing was ever brought up again. And, yeah. That was a fucking weird one. She saw it. I said, I'm already postpartum. Do you think, how do you think my body reacted to that? It's like, I'm going to the bar. See ya. So, truth be told, and that is all I've got for now. I'm going to get this eyelet lace measured out and get it pinned up because I have to miter the corners, and then I got to get it tacked on here. And then I can get the quilt batting, get it measured out on here. I've already got the backing. It's good to go. That's easily adjustable. Get everything pinned up. And then hopefully tomorrow, after I get off work, because we start at 1, I'll be home by about 11:30, 12 o'clock. And we won't be doing any night pour thing. So Friday, it'll probably be a normal day. I'll have extra time to work on this. And then when I get off of work on Friday, I can finish everything up. I know my UPS store is open on Saturday, and I might have a good chance of being able to do it then. But if anything, I have to do a DOT physical this week. It's got to be done a month before the last one. So if anything, it may get pushed to Monday. I may just call my dispatch and be like, Monday, I need to go do a DOT physical. So, half day, I'm going to end up staying late. But after I get done with that, I'll go take this and get it mailed off to my daughter. I might be able to swing that. Who knows? But anyway, hope everybody's had a great Wednesday. Mine has been a little bit traumatic and emotionally fucking pressing. But I'm okay. I'm okay. In a mood. But I'm okay.